Welcome to SerialPodcastNine.
It's cool.
Easy
go.
peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, great. Let's start the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, sounds great.
What are we casting tonight, bruh?
Someone do the
Welcome
thing.
to podcast, Serial Podcast.
That's not how we
I'm
do this.
Gerard DePeralta.
And I'm Kevin Peterson.
And I'm Ryan Benoit, and this is Serial Podcast 9.
Oh,
Here
We
we
made
are.
it.
We're doing it.
We're doing it and doing it well.
I'm not going to finish that sentence. I've already got mad at myself for singing the rest of that. Hey, what episode number are we? I think I know.
71, maybe?
No, I don't think that's right.
what I was going to say,
Gerard, this is really important. Go on.
today we will ask ChatGPT what we should talk about.
We'll just have ChatGTP talk for the podcast.
That would be pretty good. What
How
should
about
we
we
talk
just like
about?
make a AI bot of Kevin and then he can be in the podcast.
It's just a moderate. Perfect.
A what?
A moderate.
What's
Gerard and I are
moderate?
two extremes, and Kevin is the in-between ground that tries to see it from both sides. Kevin is what I'm supposed to be doing, and then and then Kevin should be doing what I'm doing, but we didn't do it that way, so it's crazy, and that's
It's a
why we're not
crazy
like
world.
we're not like the rest of them, you know.
I do know.
The moderator is not a moderate. Okay.
Here we are, episode 20.
Episode 70. Yeah.
7-0, the big 7-0.
Hey. I do want to add that I did reach out to a guest and they haven't gotten back to me. So, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. And that's all for tonight. Hey, I know while you figure out ChatGTP,
GPT.
GPT?
You figure it out.
Yeah, I don't care. It's going to replace all of us anyway. Kevin and I went to Tunerbash this
Yes, we
weekend.
did.
Not only did we go, I was the director of drift, or a drift director, if you so have it. I was
Oh,
given a
really?
title, and I had a
I didn't
walkie-talkie.
know you had that title. That's nice.
Yeah,
title.
isn't that messed up and hilarious?
You could put that on a resume. Have you updated
Director
your
of
LinkedIn?
drift.
Are you director of drift? Is
I don't
it
know what I was.
Director of drift. That's
Drift
pretty good.
director, maybe.
Yeah, you're the
I had a
DD.
walkie-talkie.
You're the DD.
Yeah, I really didn't know what was going on, though. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Luckily, Kevin and Dave Vickers were there to really step it up and be themselves. And then I just ran around and asked people if they were good. Are you good? You're good. You're good.
Are you?
And then I'd ask them to do things, and then they'd be like, no. And they'd give me a reason. And then I'd be like, fair point. You shouldn't have to do that. And then somebody else from the organization would come and yell at them, or not yell at them, but speak sternly to them. Anyway, director of drift was my title. Kevin was a featured guest at the drift event.
Yes. You featured me well.
They featured you well. Yeah, so we did Tunerbash. It was overall, actually, Kevin, what did you think of Tunerbash?
Yeah, no, I thought it was chill. Yeah, lots of driving time. That the layout that they were running was like pretty fun. I think they're probably a little bit understaffed or
Overzealous.
Well, I was told that there's the scope of what they thought they were going to do was less. They like purposely prepared for less, I guess. They didn't think it was going to be as big as it was, which is like a
Yeah, no, I
fun
get
problem
that
to
too.
have.
yeah, no, for sure.
And then I think being on the drift side, which turned out really well, initially was a bit of like a shock because it very much became like, oh, someone's coming to help. And it's like out of the gate, like nobody's coming to help. You're going to figure it out yourself and you're going to put on a show. But luckily the drift community that was there, all the drifters had drifted there before. They understood what needed to be done. They understood the best way to get things done. And they just went and got things done and honestly put on a pretty good show. I don't think the people watching the event knew that there was like kind of like, a bit of panic in the background,
No,
trying to
yeah,
fake.
no. I don't really think they did either.
Yeah, people were like high-fiving me at the end, like people that were there, like this was amazing. Not like the drivers, like crowd people,
Yeah,
and only
yeah,
because I had a walkie-talkie, they were like, "You must have done something here."
yeah.
I thought you were the shit.
Well, you were. You're the
Well,
director of Drift.
I was a director of Drift. That said, people were always confused as like, I think, who was putting on the show, but I knew that it was the
Yeah,
people behind Driven. But you would talk to different people and be like, that guy over there is running it, and it's like, no, that's not the dude running it, But so it was an interesting thing for sure. I had a realization, and I think I have this realization all the time, but more so this time was like the type of drifting that I like probably wouldn't work as well there.
Oh,
Isn't
why?
for that.
Why?
Because it's very niche. Like and when I say the type of drifting, if this is the first time you've ever listened to this episode, I mean just like very pretty cars drifting. And but I think, yeah, that doesn't. It's not as accessible to the general public. I feel like
cars here.
no, because it's not like it's not race car, bro. It's like you don't have like no windows and the motor coming out the hood, and then you know what I mean. Right away, you're like, "Yo, race car,"
Yeah, that's it. Like the idea of a street car probably doesn't like people were amped on Kevin's car for sure, but it was also the most like
they were amped more on Gaston's car or whatever that other.
I don't know because my car, like I said it when I showed up, I was like, "Yo, I feel like I just like brought a knife to a gunfight." Like I'm seriously outgunned in vehicular performance to almost every car there. Not totally because like JD was there and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like there's like a bunch of like FD style cars there.
I would say is more appealing to the pedestrian than what we like, and it kind of made me think it's like all the things that we like become very like niche or narrowed in. It's that idea of like there's the 40, there's like the percentiles of how far you're into something, and like that was like pedestrian level people seeing drifting for the first time. I had to drive some people back from they were doing ride-alongs, and just the way the track was set up, it was really hard to get people to the drifters pits for ride-alongs and then move them back. And so at the end, I drove some people back in my Aristo, and they were just flabbergasted at the car. They were like kind of like two older dudes and one younger guy, and they were kind of like dressed like they were maybe had gone golfing that day, and they're like, "Whoa, I get to drive in a JDM car, and you have white rims. This is wild, like this is just my mind. My mind is blowing. Your rims look so amazing." And I'm like, man, like, what kind of car is this? What is it? And I was, yeah, not. And I think it's great. I think it's great that there's events that open up the culture to that crowd. But yeah, I was like, oh man, this is like a way different conversation than what I usually have with people. Right. And so it was very like, oh, and they were just amped. They were like shaking my hand and being like, thank you so much. I got to go in a drift car, and this car's got white rims. And I was like, yeah, they're wheels. But anyway.
Rare Spec Rims would have been a better name.
Rare Spec Rims, yeah.
Yo, that's gonna be his nickname right now, man. RSR, Rare Spec Rims.
RSR. If only that wasn't taken. Yeah. Because I think I had half of that thought the last time Spec D was here, but then this was so much more like just open to the public, it felt like, because for those that don't know, Tunerbash is it was at Mission Raceway. It had a drift event, a car show in the middle, and then like toge runs on the other side of the track, which I had never seen.
Yeah, I never saw that either. Some
And I
guy came
didn't
up to me because like I was with Dave. I was helping Dave when he was announcing, and some guy came up and was like, "Hey man, are they still doing the toge?" I'm like, I have no clue.
Do I look like a man who togeys? Kevin says.
No, I was polite. I was just like, "Sorry, man. I'm volunteer," is what I said actually.
You were a volunteer.
I'm not a toge.
Yeah.
There were some like cool cars doing the toge stuff though that I like. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
That was the
Gerard,
thing. There was
you
there was a
could've-
lot of crazy cars where I was just like, "Yo, this car's in the Lower Mainland. I've never seen this car before."
Oh, really?
And,
What?
yeah, like that's what I mean. I was like, "Oh, yeah." And like also, like I don't think I've ever seen that many people watching drifting at Mission. Like maybe
Yeah.
when they had the like Friday night drift and drag going on, maybe then. Those were cool events too.
It was pretty nuts. A guy and his girlfriend and I think brother came down from like 100 Mile House for the event. And I was like, why this event? He's like, it's the one that I heard of, you know? And I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Yep.
You know, I've never been to a drift event. I've drifted on the street. And I was like, huh, right on. And then I was trying to help people get ride-alongs, even though that wasn't like my job. I just felt bad whenever someone asks me to do something. I feel like I have to do it. So I was like walking around trying to find the ride-along guy. And then
So anybody, if you need Ryan to do something, just message him on Instagram now.
anything.
Ask him to
Some
do
drive-
photo editing for you. He's really good at that.
I probably would do it. It's the real problem. Yeah, I'm just driving everyone to the airport and helping them move now.
It's a new life.
Anyway, I walked around with him long enough and I felt so bad that I knew that he drove an S13. And for like, since I've owned my 180, I've had a strut tower bar that I have done nothing with. And it happened to be in my Aristo. And I was like, man, I feel really bad that like I can't find this guy for you. Do you need a strut tower bar for your car? And he's like, yeah, I could use one of those. I'm like, here you go. And I just like gave the guy a strut tower bar on my car.
So that's good.
And then
Clean up that. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, yeah. No,
I was gonna
say
say,
what you're
it was funny because I was gonna ask you how those people were sitting with the shower curtain rod in the back seat. How were they?
Which is the strut tower bar.
No, yeah,
No,
no.
it's
I have a
separate.
real.
Oh, there was another
Yeah.
shower curtain rod.
It's a hood
You
prop.
know, that's how I hold my hood up. I don't have like, the fancy
right.
SerialNine hood prop. You've seen the shower
You mean
curtains.
fucking regular struts?
Well, you got
you
any
had
of those?
that strut tower bar in your car forever.
Yeah, now I
Never
don't.
knew You had that. Good. I know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So now it's good. You cleaned up that strut tower bar out
Yeah.
of the fuck Aristo.
I helped some guy, and now he's got a strut tower bar for his S13.
He'll never forget that too. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I should have been like, all right, now go listen to our podcast or watch one of our videos on YouTube. That's all my payment is for people, is to watch things that we've created. I don't know if we can talk about it, but Kevin and I had lunch, and Kevin, you said you wanted the SerialNine Gala to be like that event, or like, you know, to some degree.
Yeah, I was just like, there was many things about that where I was like, this is what I want out of the, you know. But then
Look at
Ryan
that.
poo-pooed it.
Why did he poo-pooed it?
Because he was just like, yo, like this is like the 10%ers or 5%ers of the car culture, like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's how you make money. I'm like, look, like they charged $25 a spectator, and then they charged all the drift guys, they charged all the car show guys, they charged all the toge guys. I'm sure they charged the people who had booths, and I'm sure they probably even charged the food trucks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, they probably did, but
And then
my-
that was
You could have that event for not 5%ers. You could have it for like 50%ers. I mean,
then
realistically,
it wouldn't be that big though. But yeah,
it wouldn't be
well,
that big.
that's not true.
And you wouldn't have
You
like
just
the people.
maybe not that big in the Lower Mainland.
okay. So where
Okay,
are you?
so what I was going to say,
Yeah.
Brian, what are the percenters you think that go to Final Bout? The spectators at Final Bout, what percenters are they?
I mean, that's pretty like self-serving
They're-
of me to.
They're pretty high.
They are. It's
Are
because
they?
it's
unless
so
unless
niche.
unless they're locals. Like you're not traveling across the thing
Yeah.
to go to Final Bout unless you care about it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think the more niche anything gets, the percentile, like
I don't know, man. When I was at Final Bout, there was a kid, and he was like, "Yeah, they should just all tandem together." Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
they should.
Yeah, but that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, they should. They do that in the D1 videos. They literally have a 50-car train at the end. Like, they totally should have done that. Yeah.
That is
Anyway,
aura.
the kid.
So is that guy 100%er?
Yeah,
No.
that dude knows more than us, if anything.
Exactly. He knows what it's about.
Okay, sorry, go on, Gerard. I cut you off to be a
Nothing. No, nothing. I'm just like, I mean, there are 20 to 40 percenters at Final Bout.
Probably. You probably would be hard pressed to see someone there calling like wheels rims. I don't know.
Are they not rims though?
I call them rims all the time. I don't care.
Rims.
Yeah, like people that freak out about rims versus wheels, I feel like they're like the same kind of people that need to that they're the ones that need to point out like
that it's Olivia Wilde in a meme and not Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that one, but yeah, that's exactly.
That's a me and Kevin conversation. Kevin posted a photo of my car, and I was like, "Hey, is that Olivia Wilde?" And he's like, "I think it's Jennifer Lopez." And I'm like, "I need to look this up," and no. And then it was Olivia Wilde. It's not a good story. Anyway.
No, it wasn't.
How dare you, Gerard? You're a 10%er on pop culture of my stories.
I mean, that pop culture, sure.
What's your pop culture that you're into?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Pop culture is a weird thing. Like, this pop culture means popular culture. But that can literally be anything, can't it?
Yeah, it could be art, fashion, clothing.
As long as it's popular.
Food, yeah.
But then, I don't know.
Our Carl's pop culture, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit now. I think we've talked about this before, but more and more.
Chance the Rapper, bro.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. A little bit now, you see more and more. I'm sure I've talked about this, but if clothing companies that are like taking cars that we would be into and putting them on T-shirts, not just
like Adam LZ and like Samet.
No.
H&M.
No, yeah,
Forever
like
21.
Yes, or
Zoomies.
Yeah, what's this? Yeah, Zoomies. I walked in there one day.
That's probably because Zoomies, it was an Adam LZ fucking shirt. Adam LZ is in Zoomies now.
Oh, is it? That's wild.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. It had a BMW on it, and I was going to take a picture of it and send it to you.
Well, that's probably an Adam LZ shirt.
And then what's the ghetto? Ghetto kids. What is that?
Yeah, the ghetto dirty kids or whatever it's called, or ghetto something kids. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I know
GDK. Whatever it is, that brand had they put Skylines or S chassis and BMWs and 86s on shirts. And then I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh, that's the equivalent as when I was younger. You could buy a shirt and it had a Trans Am on it because it was retro.
Yeah.
And then I felt
maybe now JDM cars have reached pop culture. Is that what you're saying?
But they're also retro. Yeah, it's throwback. Wear a shirt to a time that you had no ties to. And so there is a brand that has an R34 on it.
I'm picking up what you're saying. It's when the Trans Am shirt was popular, it wasn't because people had Trans Ams. It was a throwback to 15 years ago or something, Yeah. That's where the JDM cars are on the shirts now,
I mean, I don't know about that because when I had Trans Am shirts, Trans Ams were certainly popular. But then I'm also 100 years old, and I would go to that kiosk in the fucking mall that had the little flappy fucking laminated pictures of all the cool, and I would get Trans Ams because fucking I would see Trans Ams outside. It's equivalent of having a fucking a Huracan or whatever on your shirt in today's an Aventador. You know what I mean?
Aventador feels a little bit crazy to me. It's almost like having an SRT on your shirt or something.
Well, I wore a Mustang, a fucking Shelby Mustang or something.
Yeah, exactly, but not quite an Aventador, maybe.
Okay, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, I just sent you.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just sent you one.
Kids.
Yeah, DGK. Yeah, there you go.
Flying
it has
low.
a type.
That's an Integra, first of all.
Well, I fucking found the first one. They have a series of them.
Terrible.
It's also a Zoom wheels, yeah.
It's fucking USDM. It's got like the most hurting fucking wheels. And it's like a child drawing. It's so terrible.
Yes, Gerard. I'm not saying it's good though. That was never like I wasn't saying like, yo, guys, let's get the last of these t-shirts and get it now and I'll wear them and be matching. I'm saying that they exist and it's weird to me.
Certainly weird.
Yeah, there's a whole line.
Yeah, there's an 8.6 for Kevin.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Kevin's buying the 8.6 one.
No, I'm definitely not buying it.
Well, I bought it for you for your birthday, so
there's an E30 one for Gerard.
Oh yeah, the E30 one for Gerard is perfect.
No E30s for me, bro.
Man, look at the guy's wearing a flannel shirt and a fun hat in the picture.
That's you. Ryan's the flannel man.
Yeah, he definitely has the Ryan look.
I do not wear pants like that. Those are closer. Gerard would be the most likely to wear pants like that out of all of us.
What are we looking at here? The guy?
tight pants.
Tight pants, white shoes.
Is this the same one you're looking at?
I'm looking at the 89.
Yeah, we looked at a different one. We rolled down.
Oh, okay. You're on the E30 one?
Yeah, and the guy's wearing red flannel, which I admit that is a me thing.
Oh, for sure. Shit.
But the bottom half feels more Gerard. Yeah. Gerard would be the one to be the closest to rock that.
Yeah, that Beamer's kind of crazy, actually. It has like the new wheels on it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Gerard's going to get this shirt.
No, I'm not going to get it. It's terrible.
There's an NSX. Anyway, doesn't matter. What I'm saying is those clothes are like, yeah. Then there's other brands doing this. And it's weird.
Yeah, they're jumping on the bandwagon.
You think? I don't know. It does feel. You're having chest pains? Why? What's happening?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you smell toast?
Kevin, they have it as a tank top with the 8.6 on it, and I need to get it for you. I'm sorry.
Let's just get it for Dave.
Oh, Dave would like it. Yeah, he would be happy to wear that.
I don't have an 8.6, bro.
Oh, you don't? I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Glad I can help you.
No, man, this whole time. Although your phone number says otherwise. Okay.
Yeah.
As I was saying. So do you think that you would want to do an event? Because I also said an event of that level requires...
Eventador?
Going back to Tunerbash, an event of that level requires an entire staff and dedication to do it. Which feels very hard.
Obviously, it doesn't, because they just did it with not.
Well, but they staff. They did fly out staff. There were a number of people there, and they worked.
No, you're not wrong. And they probably done events before.
Yeah, like that's their business.
I'll tell you what. Do you think? We are going to do Weekfest, and it's going to be a whole ordeal. So we'll see how that goes, and then if we can do something 10 times bigger, then.
You're going to do something 10 times bigger than Weekfest?
Well, running your own event would be 10 times bigger than going to an event.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to reiterate, you're saying that going to Weekfest and setting up the booth is going to be a lot of effort. Is that what you're saying?
Now we got a temporary business license and we got like a Stripe like terminal and like I think we are going to start now. We're going to bring like flags and shirts and hats and steering wheels and shift knobs and stickers. And arms and the booth and display.
Thing.
It is a whole.
How are you going to get all of that over the border now?
Commercial invoice.
Okay.
That thing.
All right, that's going to be an ordeal.
Cedric's going to drive Gerard's truck.
No,
that's not going to happen.
Did Cedric pitch that idea? Because that feels like Cedric. Anyway, so. I told Kevin that I do agree you would haul in a ton of cash doing an event of that level, but it requires so much commitment and such a big team. And even then it's still a struggle that I just like, you have a real business that you run, and not that like running car shows and that isn't a real business, but you have your own separate entity that is like fully a thing that is very impressive. That you don't also need to worry about, like, now we're an event organizer.
But I mean, obviously, the best possible scenario would be to
everything?
collaborate with an event organizer, and we would just simply sponsor / like support the event.
I mean, that's what we almost could have done this time. I feel like we could have done that this time.
That.
I mean, I feel like we were just sort of like standing back to watch what happened, and then if it happened to not blow up, then we would maybe think about partnering next year.
Well, next year I'm still the drift director, so good news.
There you go. But also at the same time,
there was a SerialNine tent
show. We were going to promote this show that like sort of doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to do with SerialNine, like besides the car show part.
Well, that was just it. It's like, yeah.
No, just the drifting is cool, but like then it has all these like pro cars and competitions and stuff. And it's like,
yeah,
I guess that's cool, like,
I mean, is that like, I don't know. Anyway, I was going to say, like, what about Spec D? Like, you were like pretty keen about doing that last year and like this year as well. And Spec D.
I was keen about what, sponsoring or driving it?
We ran the
car show for them.
Correct. That's just a car show.
Yeah. At this thing.
It's like the bare minimum involvement, and it was absolutely free. So that's kind of why I was like, all I have to do is show up there with some fucking cars and stand around and display my stuff. I'm down with that. Like, I don't have to fucking organize anything. I don't have to like promote the most organization I did was set up the cars. That's it.
Yeah.
And the booth, I guess.
And you're a goddamn Picasso. Now, I think Panic has maybe the right idea for a business. It's like he has the Panic drift event. And, you know, like you have to be a customer to get an invite. And it's kind of like an appreciation thing. I think that's like a pretty good way to go about it. And anyway.
Yeah, fully.
I mean, I'm down with that 100% because like literally every person has SerialNine parts anyways. And it's like, no matter how little SerialNine parts you have, you can participate. But that just basically weeds out any weird fucking cars that like possibly cannot have SerialNine parts.
Which is great. And then it's just an appreciation day. And you get great content off of it. And then that's a good play. But yeah, like getting the dudes hyped about, and this is what I kind of was saying to Kevin, like getting the pedestrian hyped on SerialNine. Yeah, maybe they buy a T-shirt, but it's like they don't buy arms. They don't decide like, oh, now I'm gonna buy, you know, like the shifter. You know,
you don't know that. You maybe.
I guess I don't have a fucking crystal ball.
Yeah, maybe they were just like, yo, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah, Brian, you
do
were
whatever I have to do.
Event one day too.
Yeah.
Right?
I was what now?
And I was as well. I said you were a private drift event one day as well, and so was I.
Well, I had my first drift event. I still had a 180 that I brought to it that had an SR20. Anyway, this isn't about me.
How many years ago was that?
How many? Oh goddamn! I don't know. It was a long time ago.
I was just using that as an opportunity to be like, and you still can't drift.
Yeah, exactly. I can't. I fully. The guys asked me like, "Do you drift?" I'm like, "Not well, and not at all." You know, I always tell that to people. Kevin, I explain how I got into media, and that is the story. And I'll do it here now. No, that was I was in I had just finished university when I got into drifting, or I was in university, a school. So that would have been a while ago. Post-secondary education, I bought a 180, and I was like, I'm never gonna drift this thing. And then I did try to drift it, but I split my time between doing media and drifting, and I was mildly better at media, so I pursued that. Also, I didn't have money for a truck or a trailer, and I didn't have money to like wreck a car. So I did have money to buy a camera, and that is how I am here today talking to both of you. So joke's on you. If I drove, we probably wouldn't be friends. I'd be famous somewhere. You don't think? I don't think we would be.
I mean, we're friends with Carter. Carter just simply drives.
Yeah, but he's really good. I probably would have, if I drove, I probably would have been mediocre. And man, I probably would have given up. And then but because the barrier of entry for me to do media has always been relatively low, I've never had to walk away from it. As Gerard says, I just latch on to the next thing happening.
The next company.
I don't know why you keep bringing that up. Like, I didn't mean it in that way at all.
Well, it was the rudest thing. If you want to latch onto that, that's fine. I was like, oh, a latcher on, a bottom feeder of all things.
Latcher honor.
A latcher honor. Scum of the earth.
It was brought to my attention this weekend by someone who listens to the podcast that if you were to go back and listen to you could go through the series of all the podcasts and just hear Gerard argue one point and then go 5 or 6 or 10 episodes in the future, and he would essentially be arguing against himself. They're just they're like, man, if you could just put all the contradictions that Gerard has. And I was like, yeah, that's Gerard. But maybe he just grows faster as a person and we get to watch it. Yeah, maybe that's that. Or he just has a bad memory because he's old. I don't know.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's probably the one.
I was talking about how you maybe we're starting to edit the podcast less because Gerard is saying it to do that.
Yeah.
Nicole. And then she was just like, you should just compile all the parts that you had to cut out and make that into one.
And then charge money for it.
No, it's just completely out of context. It's just all these weird sound bites that don't make any sense, but
Oh, that would be real bad.
But then there's no context. The Patreon one.
Yeah.
People would probably just be laughing.
I mean, the time where I put you shouting about big dick stuff in, I was like, I should have cut that out, but I kept it in.
No, I think that people thought
people liked that. It was
they did.
People like big dicks.
Mikey was just like, what am I listening to? And I was like, I don't know, man. Hey, someone did bring it up, and I know we've talked about it before, so this is a question for Kevin. Because they misspelled SerialNine. They're like, what podcast do you listen to? And they said Palmer's, The Goodest Cast, and then SerialNine, but they made the joke about do they just talk about cereal all the time? And I was like, joke's on you, we did once. And Gerard's on that what was it? Almond Toast Crunch or whatever.
Whatever
fancy.
It was, yeah.
And then they're like, what about Kevin? And I was like, I feel like Kevin just has fresh fruit for breakfast or a shake. Because I don't think Kevin cereal is essentially cold soup, and Kevin doesn't like soup. So
I like my cereal.
Kevin likes cereal though.
I like cereal.
With yogurt.
Yeah.
Like a parfait.
Yeah, parfait chill.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Because, I'm not gonna drink the milk after. I don't care about the milk, but I'll eat the yogurt. So. Seems less wasteful to use it with yogurt.
Right.
Fucking weird, dog.
Another question that came up was on actually a comment on our Final Bout video. And I didn't feel like answering it because it wasn't my place. But in the video, I make a joke about how Kevin got punched in a Applebee's parking lot by Angry Earl with the RX-7, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, whoa, how did that happen? Did Kevin shit on rotaries? Which I was like, no, Kevin likes rotaries. He had one in a Corolla. So, and then I didn't want to, and I was thinking of all these things I could write. But then I didn't, because I was like, this isn't my story to tell. And I didn't know Kevin at this time. And I do wonder if old Kevin and old Ryan would have been great friends or not. I have no idea. But if I could time travel to one point in time, might be that night in the Applebee's parking lot.
Well, if you were at that FD event, you would have been there.
Yeah. I don't know if I was at that. I probably wasn't at that one.
Yeah.
So Kevin, I sewered you on camera, and now Why did you get punched in an Applebee's parking lot?
So now you're just gonna sewer me on the podcast too, or what?
Well, I mean, I think, yeah. I feel like this is like, if there was like a part of your Americans and other people won't get the a part of our heritage comment, which is in Canada.
I feel like Americans definitely get part of their heritage. Like if you were to say,
yeah, but the commercial, sorry, the commercial that we show in Canada, where it's like a part of our heritage, and they show you like a snippet of Canadian history. What? It's fucking great.
Yeah, that shit was great. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
The North American house hippo.
Yeah.
House hippo? What the hell?
Oh,
What
Gerard.
was that one?
That was to not believe everything you see on TV, Gerard. Not to believe fake news.
I think maybe that was like a little bit later in life. Maybe Gerard was
yeah. He was over TV by then, for sure. How do you not like a part of our history or heritage commercials? Canada, you know, and they're like, he means the houses, you know, or like the Irish kids not wanting to give up their last names, you know, all of the things, Gerard. Why don't you?
I haven't seen it so long.
Or I smell burnt toast, and then like these are all triggers for any Canadian, and they hear one of those lines, and they're like, "I know what you're talking about," or like, "I need those peach baskets back." When they explain that a Canadian helped invent basketball, you know, like
that's all I'm talking about.
That's great. Why do you hate that? You should love it. It's part of your heritage. It's part of who we are. And for Kevin, a part of his heritage.
Not every single one there. Like, you got me, you know? Not every single one there was.
Oh, yeah, but I got you with one of them, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But like every single Canadian, like every time
you remember these words.
Well, one word out of what I said will trigger some Canadian from a certain era. Hey, let's talk about the raccoons for a while. No, let's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about the umbrella tree.
Oh, man. There was a blue jay and an iguana and a dog? Was that? Anyway, okay.
I think it was a giraffe.
It wasn't a giraffe. You're thinking of Toys R Us.
I am a little bit, but like...
We were at Toys R Us and they had whatever Jerry the giraffe or whatever his name is, and like
I think it's Jeffrey, but yeah.
Jeffrey the giraffe, yeah. And June was just freaked out. I'm like, hey, do you want to meet Jeffrey? And she's like, and she like went and hid around a corner, and like Jeffrey was kind of looking at her, and she's like, we got to go, we got to get out of here. And I was like, yeah, all right, we'll go. Anyway, part of Kevin's heritage, his history, is Kevin in an Applebee's parking lot. Kevin, please tell the story.
The other character is a gopher.
It was a gopher. That makes so much Canadian sense.
It's Gloria Gopher.
Gloria Gopher. Iggy the iguana and Jay the blue jay? Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob.
Or was it Jacob? Yeah. Under the umbrella tree, Gerard.
Lost me, man.
Educational television.
It was like CBC mornings for people of our generation. Yeah. And then you'd watch Sesame Street before it became Sesame Park.
Is that what it is now? It's not Sesame Street?
Yeah, they made it more Canadian. But remember, like, Canadians in Sesame Street had the 3 Canadian characters, which was Basil the polar bear, the otter, and Dodie the pilot. You don't remember that? Okay, well, I do.
I don't really remember Sesame Street.
All right.
I remember a movie where like Big Bird gets kidnapped or something.
You guys are so over my head right now. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
That's because you don't like pop culture.
This isn't even pop culture. This is like 25-year-old.
This is like
children's television.
Culture. Yeah.
All right. What's Basil the polar bear? Anyway, one of the characters taught you French. Okay. Listen.
And then Ryan was in French immersion.
And then I was in French immersion.
We should do an entire podcast in French.
I can't do that. I'm not. Maybe if I had enough beer, I could do it.
Not with that attitude.
I was gonna say, what do you think? Okay, I was gonna say because I was like, oh, we're struggling to get like a fucking topic or whatever.
I feel like we have a great topic.
What is our topic of this one?
Well, we were talking about car shows, which was great.
Okay.
And then I was going to get Kevin to answer that question, but we can't. Yeah, Applebee's. It's a good story.
Then you started talking about fucking gophers and
yeah,
we were talking about Sesame Street.
I keep pushing the conversation away.
Kevin knows how to get me to go off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll just bring up some irrelevant Canadian.
Yeah.
You brought it up.
Pop culture.
I just
hang on. I just want to say that the otter's name was Louis, and I believe he was the one that spoke French, which is great. Okay.
Yeah. How about Louis is a French name.
Let's get a show of hands who knows anything about what Ryan's talking about right now. If I get more than 5 messages, I don't know what I'll do, but it'll be funny.
Well, yeah, you do something. Gerard will go on Sesame Park.
Go eat your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go eat a turd.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna message you, and my brother listens to the podcast, and he knows what I'm talking about. So that's 2.
Yeah, I got my
sister message. 3 more people.
5 people.
You're gonna eat a big old shit stinker sandwich. All right. All right. Flashback. Picture this. The year is, what year is it, Kevin? You're you're going to FD.
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember, man. I don't know these things.
What? You were just goddamn story.
Yeah, it's totally irrelevant.
I mean, it's partly relevant, but okay. Kevin,
I feel like I just told this story like 3 podcasts ago. No,
you did not. You did not. I would know. You didn't. I'm the fact checker.
Hey, Gerard, pull that up.
Yeah, I'm the immoderate moderator, but you did not just tell this story. You tell me the story a lot. I've heard the story a lot, but
I'm dealing with someone on Marketplace named Cheng Cheng.
Name what?
Cheng Cheng.
Chen Chen?
Cheng Cheng. Is that kind of
I worked with a guy named Chen Chen, and then he was really good at Yu-Gi-Oh, and he had a funny Yu-Gi-Oh alias that he went under when he competed. Anyway.
When he competed?
Look, I'm so easy to derail right now, and I don't need this.
No, I kind of think I need to hear about Yu-Gi-Oh competitions.
No, I need picture this. The year is
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. No, okay. The year is. This must have been before I met you.
Yes. Von Gittin Jr. won that event, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe
so he just won one this year. So it was this year.
Yeah.
Von Gittin Jr. won. All right. Kevin's going to the FD event with friends. Yes, Gerard.
Nothing. I figured it out.
Do we not want to tell this story? Is that like actually not? Like we don't have to. I don't want to.
I don't really care. I swear I just told it on the podcast.
You didn't. I promise you. Neither of you listen to the podcast, and I do.
Okay. All right.
Do you listen to the podcast?
Me.
Yeah.
Not always.
No, and that's fine. I appreciate that both of you trust me enough to do whatever with it, which is great.
Definitely.
That's something like you should just edit it up so we say some hilarious things.
Yeah, but I'm an honest man, and you've asked me to do an honest day's work, and I'll just do it. Okay. God damn it. Picture this.
Are we still trying to get it?
Yeah, I am. I do actually enjoy the process of this. Should I just start telling the story? Because I feel like
why don't you tell the story?
Because it's not my story to tell.
No, this is better. If I've told it to you enough times, I want to hear your rendition.
Well, I don't remember the details. I know that you stopped at the duty free on the way over the border. So you're going to FD, and you and Matt, is that right?
Close enough, sure, yeah.
Or who is it?
His name is Christopher Monks.
Okay, stop at the duty free and buy a very big bottle of liquor each. And you were drinking this liquor for the entirety of the day at at Formula D in Monroe, Washington.
Yes.
You are annihilated.
Yes.
Right out of her. after the event, like, I don't know, you do some shit during the day that's probably hilarious because drunk Kevin's pretty hilarious. Charismatic, you know? Side note, one time I got real drunk with Kevin and he wanted to have go to find a junkyard and fight to the death is what he pitched to us. Anyway, okay, back on track. So everyone goes to an Applebee's after the event. That was like the hangout where people were going.
Yeah, the event's over. It's
people need to eat.
Yeah.
Need to go to a chain restaurant because it'll seat people. You're in Monroe, Washington. So there's an Applebee's. Kevin has been drinking, I believe, a giant bottle of vodka all day.
No, Crown Royal.
Crown Royal. Are you mixing it? What are you mixing it with?
Buddy, water, buddy.
Such a big bottle that like it wasn't like I was putting it in there. I don't know what I was. By this point, I was probably just drinking it out straight out of the bottle.
Okay, Gerard, are you there while this is happening?
No.
Would this have happened if Gerard was there? Do you think Gerard would have?
This was before Gerard.
I don't think Gerard. Yeah, this is before Gerard.
What do you mean this is before Gerard? I can't even picture a time where Kevin and Gerard don't exist. So this is great.
we exist separately.
Well, I know, but
not together.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so you're not in the picture at this point?
Me, no.
So.
But you.
I mean, we probably went. But I mean, this is old news, man. I mean, I think it was right around. I mean, we could have maybe been, but maybe I didn't go to that one or some shit. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's impossible or it was just before I met you.
I think it was just before because I think
it was sort of just before. Yeah.
I think it was like the Agassi days because I remember like Earl would come to Agassi once in a while.
Oh, okay. This is real old. Oh, I assumed you were like, I thought this was early SerialNine days because like in my mind it goes Gerard goes to a drift event and sees a guy drifting in 8.6. It's Kevin. And then yada, yada, yada. Magic happens. He tells him that he should sell his 8.6, build a Cressida.
No, I never had any part of that. Kevin just came to me. He's like, yo, want to build a Cressida? I was like, shut the fuck up. Sick. And just gave him all my X7 parts.
Oh, okay.
Because I already had one and it was like basically stock as fuck and like way better than the Corolla. I was like, yo, this is there's something here.
So did you have the 8.6 during the Applebee incident?
Yeah.
I think I probably did, yeah.
Wow, this is really old. Not as old, like way ancient. Okay, what was Earl driving?
Story on the road here.
Well, no, now it's like a fact finding. Now it's a fact finding mission. What was Earl driving at the time?
The FC that it's like converted into a pickup truck back.
That's what he was driving. Okay.
Yes, and he called that thing the Truckosaurus.
Yep.
Cool. For the time. No, okay. So you go to an Applebee's. You're real fucked up on Crown Royal. Gerard's not in the picture. How old are you at this point?
I don't know.
Not quite.
Yeah, like 12. I don't know.
So a 12-year-old Kevin is at an Applebee's, drunk off it. I imagine you're somewhere between the ages. Yeah, you're between the ages of 21 and 37, I would imagine, in this story.
Probably close to 21.
And from my end, and all the FD drivers are there as well, or no?
At Applebee's?
At FD, they definitely are.
Oh, okay. I thought like everyone was there. Yeah, but Kevin tells stories about how.
If you're an FD driver after FD, you'd be like, yo, let's go to Applebee's. They'd be like, yeah, sure.
But back in the day, they would go to house parties. Kevin has stories about walking in and like there's FD drivers at house parties.
But house parties are cool. Applebee's is not cool.
Yeah, but you got a bunch of Neils on your crew and you got to go somewhere to eat. And
you got to eat and it's got to be
10 o'clock at night. Exactly. It's 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, exactly. Dude, how many times did we go to like a shitty ass restaurant like that after
like a Red Robin or something?
A Red Robin, exactly.
No,
I've been to Boston Pizza so many times after a drift event because sometimes it's open and it can seat people. Like back in the day, we would just go to
I agree. You're right.
Okay. But so maybe they were there. I don't know. Like it's also Monroe, Washington. It's not like there's a ton. Yeah, it's not crazy.
Let's go to the Four Seasons.
There's the Four Seasons.
I said, let's go to the Four Seasons.
Yeah. All right. So you're there, but the local drift community is at least there for sure. You're drunk. You're walking around. What are you doing in the Applebee's?
Well, we didn't go there because I think that they decided I was too drunk to go there. So we went to like P.F. Chang's or something. The place where you go and you like pick all your like noodle ingredients and then they fry it up and weigh it and then bill you.
Oh, like a Mongolian grill?
Mongolian grill. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was like P.F. Chang's, or something like that. But anyway, so we went there and then I just remember like walking in trying to find somebody and just like walking around like just like drunk, basically like insulting tables and then getting kicked out. And then we're in the parking lot and like Earl and a bunch of people are there. And I don't know. I was like trying to antagonize him, I think. But so I was starting to like kick the lip of his car, like, lightly, like kind of like just being like, and then, he was just like, yo, don't do that. And then I did it again. So I think he punched me. So then I took his sunglasses off his face and I stepped on them. And then, then he like really punched me like a lot of times.
And then you drove back to Canada that night?
I wasn't doing anything.
Well, no, you weren't driving anywhere, not driving. You went back to Canada that night?
Yeah, we went back to Canada.
I gotta go home. I gotta sleep in my own bed.
No, it was more the other people. They're like, you might need free healthcare.
Oh. And then did you phone him?
I did phone him.
Or did someone phone you? You did phone him?
Yeah, I phoned him.
And what did you do? You said sorry?
No, I just talked a bunch of shit some more. Duh.
Oh, this is why I don't know. Like, I often wonder.
I mean, I have a story. Like Kevin definitely. I mean, maybe not so much lately, but I also don't really hang out with you that much lately. But I feel like when you were younger, you would definitely get inebriated and then get like basically just turn into like kind of an asshole. And then there was a time when we were at DUI. We were at I don't know what that fucking restaurant is that we always go to with the outdoor seating. And I had taken the Altima up that year for some fucking reason. And I was like, yo, this thing that drives pretty nice, the Nissan shit. And then you were just like talking so much shit. You're like, oh, it's a fucking Nissan. It's so good. Isn't it so good, Gerard? You fucking love it because it's a fucking Nissan and all this shit. I was like, dude, like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you're being such an asshole. You're like, yo, who fucking is a Nissan? And I was just like fully just ready to punch you. And I was like, fuck this guy so hard. Like,
I like that this is mildly now turning into like half of an intervention. But no, Kevin, I don't ever want you to change. You be you, as long as it's safe. I don't have any bad Kevin stories, so I'm good. All my drunken Kevin stories are just a great time. So good. Yeah. It's mostly him like trying to pet puppies and
I'm moving up in life, that means,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Kevin and I met each other at the right time. Good. All right, Gerard. So we did a question about that. That was a legit question. Someone wanted to know. And I said, oh, that sounds like I was doing a synergy move. We're going to go ahead and answer that on the podcast. So now if I remember, I'll be like, hey, there's a podcast that answers it and you can listen to it here. And
it's number 70.
Number 70, the one where Kevin comes clean.
Doesn't get
all
clean.
Right.
Just comes
clean.
He
doesn't get clean. Yeah, he comes clean. Doesn't get clean. So, Gerard, you had a topic you wanted to talk about.
Oh, well, I can't talk about it today because we need a guest. Because
what is it?
Do it. It's nothing.
Well, it's something.
Buying
you don't want to say
it. Did we already have that episode? I don't think we did.
Yes, we have.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah, I don't really remember that, but
Yeah, well, I feel like if you put all the time that we talked together, that's 70
that's all it's
episodes. 70 episodes. And we probably talk for about 2.5 hours to 3 hours an episode. So what is that like?
I don't think there's too many 3-hour ones, man. They're more like an hour and a half to 2.
Yeah, but we talk.
But how much time we talk?
Yeah. But even then, so we'll say they're 2 hours. Yeah, there's 140 hours of us talk.
Okay.
So I'm sure we've talked about selling cars. We've talked about everything we could possibly talk. No, that's not true. Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking like the do's and don'ts or like funny experiences. And
you fully did that.
We can get Eric, but then if we've already
we could get Josh.
And then we said
Josh has had a bajillion cars.
This is exactly what we did. We talked about Josh, and then I said, I don't know who Josh is. And then you said, Josh. No, because I didn't know who Josh was.
Well, I'm going to make it happen.
I'm selfish. That's why we didn't follow through. What else do you want to talk about, George? I bet you want to talk about BMWs a little bit.
No. I mean, I could, but I don't. I mean, you guys don't want to hear it. Yeah, lately, every time I talk about BMWs, everyone just sort of has something else to do.
Now you know how it feels to be us when we talk to you. You always got something else to do. Hey, how expensive are these towels?
$30.
Hey, George, did you know that the Fast and the Furious, the next movie, is coming out this Friday? Yeah.
What's this one? Is it Fast 12? Are we at 12 now?
Fast 10, but apparently it's like a 2 to 3 part thing.
Oh, it's its own trilogy?
Yeah, it's a fucking Inception. It's a trilogy inside of
a series.
And yeah, I can't even fathom what it must be like to like be in that room when they talk about that. Like, oh, we're gonna make another Fast and the Furious, and it's like, yeah, we must be getting close to the end. It's like we are. Only 3 more movies, you know, and it's like
it was probably more like, all right, we got the story. How can we stretch it out into 3 more?
Well,
movies?
Yeah, and they're just sitting around. They're like, people love us. Like the disconnect from reality is what. And you know what? This will come out, and the movie will probably be huge.
I was gonna say it's like it's still a huge movie. It's like you're like, where's the disconnect? People do love them.
Yeah, I guess
wish I could watch it with Dominic.
Why not?
Why can't you?
The themes are too mature.
Yeah, I think they're too mature.
But it's about family, Gerard.
It is.
Hey, did you name your son? Did you name your son after that character?
Obviously, of course. Dominic is the best. No.
Part of me feels like you did a little bit. Anyway.
No. That would be funny, but it's not true.
Where did you come up with the name Dominic?
After much deliberation, that was the strongest name.
The strongest name.
Yeah, it was good.
Strong like bull.
Yeah, he won't get punched out in an Applebee's parking lot. He'll do the punching.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be like, stop kicking my RX-7.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll kick some ass.
Well, your son learns Muay Thai. Go on, yeah.
I made some shoes, Ryan. You're gonna see my shoes. You can be like, "Fuck, that's cool. I want."
You made some shoes. Are they sneakers?
They're
basketball shoes.
I watched Nike Air, I watched Air Jordan or Air. Did you like it?
Well, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, how fucking sick is his Porsche?
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's
real that sick. Fucking shoe designer guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course.
I just thought it was so cool. When they're like, "Yo, like more red," and he's like, "No, we can't." He's like, "Why don't we just pay the fines?" I was like, "That's such a sick idea." Like,
yeah, that is
just make the shoe different from everyone else's. Like, duh.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I really liked that movie. I was pretty, it was pretty good. Okay, you made a shoe. So Gerard's in the sneaker business now. Oh, it's not done. He's doing it right now.
Well, I'm fucking
Champering it.
messing around with it.
Oh. Don't mess with perfection, buddy.
What do you think the
Great.
stupidest named car is?
Oof.
I'll
What
tell
is
you
this?
right now. We call it fucking
The Gremlin.
Gremlin's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a good name.
I kind of know what you mean. Like,
It's like a little it's a
I mean,
little
I don't know. It's
monster.
like
When
cooler,
I say
it's
it that
cooler
way,
than
it
like
sounds cool.
It's cooler than like Pacer.
Well, no, but a pacer sets the pace, doesn't it?
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know exactly. Like, that's no one even knows what the fuck a Pacer is.
Sets
It's like
the
an
pace.
abstract thing. But I mean, is it like better? Like, I don't know. Like, what about ES300? It's like
Oof.
the least inspired.
But we only
name.
think ES300 is the least inspired name because it's the least inspired car. Like if it was a sick car, like a Rose by any other name is kind of the thing, it's the inverted version of that. Anything. They could have called it like Raging Bull.
F40. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Lexus F40 as, you'd be like, oh yeah, F40 is a fucking dumb name.
Yeah.
Because it's an ES.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I like letters and numbers on its own. I don't even like it. It's not a lot of fun.
No, it's not a lot of fun. You're right. And it's just confusing.
I admire that Mazda did the whole thing where they gave it letters and numbers and then gave it a name anyway, like just in case to like cover their bases. Is that what that's the only one I didn't actually know. I thought that was a version of the RX-7. Is that not?
I thought it was too.
But like the MX-6 is a Mystique. The MX-5 is a Miata. And then the MX-3 is a Presidia, which might be the worst name.
The 929 was Sentia.
The what?
Yeah. The Mazda
929 is called a Sentia.
Yeah.
What about the MP?
But you know what the coolest? Okay, you want to know what the coolest car name ever was? Like probably one of the coolest names was the Zetos 6. That's such a fucking cool name.
What? Why? I was gonna say any of the Lamborghini. I just think any of the Lamborghini names where they're like, oh, it's named after this fucking bowl that the guy had, or like the train, like that's fucking wild shit right there.
Yeah.
Kind of just like a fucking weird ass word though.
Yeah, like me calling a car the Gerard and then it just being like, yeah, like it's
Gerard's
fucking.
not like a cool word. It's like just a fucking name.
Well, yeah, but like some of those cars
like,
are just named after a bowl.
Is Blit a fucking cool name? Like Blit is basically Blitz without the fucking Z. Like it's
pretty cool. I got
it's
a funny
cooler
story
than ES300,
Yeah, I got a funny story about.
I'd rather
Blitz.
Blit is a cool. Yeah, Blit sounds cool too. It just like comes off the like.
Blit. And it's not a blitz, which is like a military term.
Yo, Ryan, you want to nerd out?
Yeah, obviously.
In like Super Mario 1, when you're in the dungeon and there's Bowser's throwing the fire. Like, that's the noise I hear. Like that reminds me of like Blit. It's like blip.
Oh yeah. That's great. Yeah. That's great.
I was behind a C-Max today, and I was like, what the fuck is a C-Max? It's so stupid.
What is a C-Max?
I don't know, man.
That's a Chevy.
It's a Ford.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a Ford. Stupid little fucking.
Isn't there there's a Pantera, right?
Yeah.
That's a fucking cool name. Big boss name right there.
That is a big.
But then
name.
I guess yeah.
That's what I mean.
Literally,
you could like name your. Yeah.
Okay, so you know that all of the vans.
Do you think?
Toyota vans,
okay, what about this, Ryan? Do you think you could like take a shitty car and give it a cool name and it'll do better?
Yeah, it's called Celsior instead of LS400.
It's not a shitty car though. Yeah, that's not a shitty car.
I mean, LS400.
You're wrong.
Celsier's not.
Why? Anyway, I don't even
George
care
just being
about what you're
stupid
saying right now. Yeah,
exactly.
You big dummy. I'm not stupid. He's like, I'll show you. I'm not stupid. Oh man. Okay, yeah, I got a thing that we can and a correction we can talk about after. Can you give a cool, a shitty car a cool name? And no, because it immediately ruins it. I think cars are cool, and then you give it a cool name, and then that makes it cool. Like that makes a name cool. I don't think it goes the other way.
Chrysler came out with that fucking lame ass like retro vehicle, and then called it a Challenger. You're like, okay, fucking cool. Like that's the lamest car, and you give it like a name
that's exactly car. Them trying to do that, or like
Dart when they took the Dart. Like the Dart was
cool. The Dart was a failure and a half.
And then they're like, hey, what if we take, because the Dart originally is a real rear wheel drive, like kind of like muscly cool car, right? Yeah, cool car. And they're like, what if we make it a hatchback and make it front wheel drive and just call it the Dart?
It a piece of shit and then use the name from back in the day.
Yeah, like that. That's a model that just shows that a name doesn't actually really hold its weight. It's what.
But do you think that car did better because it had that name than if they were like,
for sure.
Hey, here's the Cavalier.
Yeah.
Because that's what that thing was.
I mean, that's a perfect example of like a fucking trash name. Cavalier. Fuck.
What a stupid ass name. But it's because it's a stupid car. If it was a badass car, then we'd be like, oh.
The Judge.
You know?
What about the Omni? Oh my God. What's that?
No.
That's not a great name.
That's a buzzword. Yeah, that's just a buzzword. Omni channel.
But okay, how about all the weird Toyota vans? Okay, so you know how the Previa? You know how we had the Previa?
Hilarious name, yeah, hilarious, love it.
Shit. So you know how Toyota loves to just have the same fucking car on like duplicates? So there's Mark II, Chaser, Cresta. They had the same thing for the Previa. So they had Previa, Estima, Emina, and Lucida.
Anima,
all
did
really
you say?
Cool names. And Emina, not Enema.
There's no way that's a good name. It sounds. I can't even say it. It sounds like Enema.
Like
Lucida, a cool fucking name.
Yeah, Lucia.
What is?
I mean, even Previa is a cool name, but like Lucida.
Yeah, Previa is a cool name.
Previa is a hilarious name.
What the fuck is a Lucida?
Previa is hilarious because I'm pretty sure in the movie Juno, when she comes home to say that she's pregnant, and her dad's like, "What's wrong? Did you crash the Previa?" And I laughed out loud. I was like, "No, I'm pregnant." Anyway, okay. Preggers.
Pregnant hand gas.
Pergernet.
To answer the question, did people buy the Dart because I think some people did buy the Dart because it was tied. It was like they and it was just a company fucking them. You know, it was just like them being like, ha 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 ha. Is there any? And
but I mean, is it like? Would you have gone into that dealership and been like, hey? Like, oh, I'm going to get a new Dart and it's going to be exactly like the old Dart. Or you wouldn't realize like, oh, hey, it's front wheel drive. Oh, it's 4-cylinder. Like, oh, like it's a hatchback.
My brother's friend had a Dart that he was building. And I don't remember how this story ends, if he ended up with the new Dart as like his family car or not.
Yeah.
But like, I think it was definitely on the table. Because like if you love something that much and you identify, you're like, I want each end of this. I want to hold each end of the thing. But the real thing here is that nothing is sacred. You know, like Toyota will essentially take a BMW and put their emblems on it and say it's a Supra. And then people would be like, well, I fucking love a Supra and I want that car and I need to have it. It's a Toyota Supra. I think that they know that regardless, they're going to cash in on someone, because you can say that about the Dart. I'd be like, oh, fucking stupid. But like, I do like the Toyota Supra. And if you showed me the BMW counterpart, I'd be like, nah, not for me. Like, so, because there is something built in.
You're that guy though, right? Like you.
Oh yeah, fuck me, right?
Latching on to any BMW that you just would, you know what I mean?
Just you, Gerard. Just you. I want someone else to show me a BMW.
People show BMWs every day, and he loves them.
Yeah.
Which one?
It's just you. You have. What if it just turns out that you have really bad taste in just like BMWs, which would be hilarious. Like BMWs are somehow your kryptonite, and you just can't win me over. But if like an actual like, not that you're not a real BMW fan, but like an old soul BMW guy showed up and I'd be like, fucking sick. You're right. You won me over. I'm going to say this. This is a little bit off topic, but I've been drinking. So I often wonder, Gerard, what would happen if you showed me a BMW? So you're showing me all these BMWs, and then one day I'm just like, fuck it. And I sell the Aristo and I go buy like an M car, like a legit, like what you're working up to. Like I just go buy the car that you want. Like what you're working up to, I'm just like, I pull a chance card and I go straight to go and collect $200 and buy the one that you want. Are you happy for me, or are you a little bit fucking pissed at me for doing that?
No, I think it'd be good, except for honestly, like
it would never be as good as if you owned it.
No. I'm just saying those cars are not for the faint of heart. Okay, I'll tell you a fucking story.
You couldn't even handle that car, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just showing.
I couldn't even handle that car.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story. Okay, so let me tell you this.
Yeah. But
you're gonna think it's funny and you're gonna like it and stuff. So I talk to Alex Lee all the time. But
sick name drop. Keep going. Okay, you talked to Alex Lee, former Formula D driver,
but also like avid BMW enthusiast. His car is apart right now, so he has a BMW, but it has an LS engine. His LS engine broke a valve spring, which ended up taking out a fucking piston, etc., etc. So his non-BMW engine BMW is currently down. So anyways, that's not even really part of the point. But he's like, hey, how do you like the 130? So I'm like, oh man, it's super sick, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, yeah, except this. So on my way home the other day, I had a glorious Sunday with the car, fucking amazing, fell in love with it, drove around, it's fast, handles well, brakes well, great stereo. Everything about this car is just fucking amazing. It's only 50,000 K, so it's basically brand new, whatever. On my way home from work the first day, which was I guess Tuesday, pull into this like parking lot or whatever, and it kind of like judders, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like driving, so I'd been driving for like quite some time because my commute's pretty long, so I've been driving for like 35, 45 minutes already. And then I noticed like at low speeds and low RPM, it's kind of like juddering, and I'm thinking, fuck, man, like, all right, what is it now? Like, what is it now, BMW? Like, it's literally been 3 fucking days that I've owned this car. So then I Google it. I'm like, Google, like, fucking whatever, like 330i or 130i, like, juddering. And it's a whole fucking thing about the GM transmission and how it's a fucking piece of shit and it's, like, inherently bad. And, like, you know what the actual fucking problem is? Oh, it's the torque converter. Torque converter apparently is, like, fucking defective or some shit. And, like, you know what the fix is? Oh, replace the torque converter. It's like, I'm just going to replace this like key element that, it literally probably costs as much as the entire fucking car. I'm not going to do that. But then, of course, everyone formulates these things, probably specifically for BMWs. There's engine oil stop leak, engine oil stop burn, fucking transmission stop judder. It's like, you should just make a fucking formula that says BMW stop braking. Like, fuck, seriously. So anyways, obviously I'm kind of like disheartened about this car now. And then I had gotten, what did I get? Yeah, I got this fucking Bluetooth adapter because the car has no Bluetooth. It kind of sucks, but like I'm still using it because I'm like, okay, whatever. But like I had the music up a bit and like it starts like cracking and I'm like, fuck, did I just like blow a speaker? Now I'm like kind of choked. So now I got this fucking juddering transmission, blown speaker, and I've owned the car for like 5 fucking days. And I was just pissed. I'm like, fuck this BMW shit. I'm so burnt out on it. Like, fucking did so much work on this other car. Literally have this like brand new other fucking BMW, and it doesn't even last me 3 goddamn days. And like, kind of just like, I'm like, fuck, am I gonna go back to Toyota? So anyways, Alex and I had this big long talk about fucking, am I just gonna buy an ISF? Because like it's the only fucking remotely exciting Toyota. But that's like,
yeah, it is, buddy.
It's the same price as a fucking M car. And I'm like, am I gonna buy an M3 or an ISF? Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna buy the M car. It's like at the end of the day, it's like just so much more exciting.
Glutton for punishment.
And you just grin and bear it and like work on this fucking pile of shit every single day so that you can drive it for 20 minutes and enjoy it. But anyways, that's my BMW rant.
Well,
but no, there's actually nothing wrong with the car. There's actually nothing wrong with the car. The speaker isn't blown. It's a stupid Bluetooth adapter. And then the guttering was just like some other shit. Like,
one of my favorite things about Gerard is your vocabulary. I've never heard the term juddering until right now.
Really?
And so it was like, yeah, no, I haven't. And I looked it up, and first of all, I spelled it wrong. So I thought it was juttering. And I was like, what is jut? Like, is that a word? Or like, is it jittering? And I was like, no, it's fully a word. Gerard's corrected, you know. But I thought it was funny because the word jutter was someone who buys old buildings or ships and breaks them down to recover for materials in them. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense for what you're doing. But then, yeah, no, juttering with two D's is legit. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Shudders and shaking and all those things. So Gerard, the poet that he is, doesn't a jerking motion or shaking feeling you get behind the wheel. So if you ever question Gerard on, you know, anything about cars, he's got the fucking vocabulary to back it up. The guy is a poet when it comes to talking about cars. Ask him about fucking old Sesame Street episodes, and he can't tell his ass from page one. But juddering, congruent, all things that Gerard just drops in regular day conversation, which is great.
That's what happens when you grow up on road and track and car and driver. It's just like that's your vocabulary. All these
car and more like words. Car and judder. Am I right? You know? All right.
Oh God.
Anyway,
okay.
Car is great. So
is it? Are you gonna fix it? It sounds like you got to do a thing with it. No.
If there's something wrong with it, I don't think there's. I think I was just like tripping out, man, because I was like hyper, sort of like.
No, you're not wrong. It's for sure juddering on you. I know it's juddering. There's no way that I've driven in a Prius with you and you're just like, yo, there's like rattling back here. And listen, people at home listening, for like 3 hours on a 12 fucking hour road trip or longer, Gerard complained about a rattling that I could not hear in my Prius. And he's like trying to fix it. He's like, maybe I'll have a nap and then I won't have to listen to it.
Punching the headliner.
Yeah, he's just punching the headliner, fucking going Donkey Kong on it. But like, I'm sure it's there. Like, I've spent enough time that like, I know that Gerard has like a sixth sense for these things, and I get it. But like, fuck, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just like, yo,
yeah, like, I can't hear it. Yeah,
I can't hear it.
That's the other thing. Then when I was in the back, Gerard is accusing me of lying, gaslighting him, saying that he's like, no, you're just you. I know you can hear it. You're just saying that because you don't want to admit that. And I'm like, no, I honestly don't hear it.
Like all I'm amped about is that we can get all the way to Portland on a tank of gas, and then like we put, you know, it's like $40 in Portland, and then we get all the way to Medford. But like the whole time is just Gerard being like, what is this noise? So like, I know it's there. I don't doubt you. You are you because of these things, but it's just like, fuck, is it hilarious? Like, yeah. So your car is absolutely juddering, the word that I just learned. Like, it for sure is. There's no way it isn't. You know, and I'm sure the turn signals are mildly faster than they are in a Toyota, or you know, like it's all happening.
Don't get me started on how often the turn signals are compared to.
Oh no, let's get them started. I know we've had this talk where it's like, Gerard, your wife might think that you have ADHD.
Yes.
And to be fair, my wife accuses me of that sometimes. But my concern is
if
we,
I'm not,
yeah, but my concern is that if we were to medicate you, it would take the magic away, and I don't know if that's true or not. Like, I don't know anything about medication, but like, I would just like, it'd be like, would you get so much work done, or would you not notice the juddering anymore? Like, you are operating on a different level than most people, and I worry. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
maybe
these are the things that I think about.
These are the things that Ryan goes to bed thinking about.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah,
wonder.
quick, who sings that song?
It's not Buddy Holly.
No, it's not Buddy Holly.
It's the Cordettes. No, it's not the Cordettes.
It might be.
I don't know, actually. It escapes me.
I want to say the Shondells or the Shondells, but I don't think that's
you might be right on that one.
Hey,
I probably know more about 50s music than I know about Sesame Street. That's a fact.
I'm probably gonna listen to that song.
That's not the worst. That's not the worst thing either.
Del Shannon is who it is, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's Shondells. I think he's as white as they come.
Oh, okay.
As white as a day.
The only reason why it's relevant is because sometimes, like in the 50s, like, I feel like the music was predominantly white, but then when you get some of the songs and the artists were black, you're like, oh, that's like kind of sick. Like that song was really good, and like in a cool way. Like that isn't terrible different.
This is a funny story to me, and I don't know if it can go in or not, or if it's relevant. T-Pain released an album of covers, and he released one of the songs was Change Gonna Come, which is a cover of a Sam Cooke song. And our friend Travis, when it came out, posted like sweet baby making music. Like he like posted the song up. He's like, this is sweet baby making music. And I was like,
Sam Cooke version or the
T-Pain song. Yeah. And I was like, that's like one of the most like key civil rights songs ever written. And he's like, oh, and I was like, but like,
it'll do you good,
A change is gonna come. Yeah, a change is gonna come. And it's like the most, there's a whole thing about it, and he's like, sweet baby making music. And who am I to judge if the idea of civil equality gets you going? Because maybe it does, and and that's great. I mean, it's an important song, but I was like, I don't know. Anyway, who am I to say what gets your motor going? But he was like, oh shit, I've never listened to the lyrics. I did not know it was a Sam Cooke song. I was like, yeah, fully a very important song. Anyway, that is a part of our heritage. We talked about BMWs as we always do, so we have a BMW segment, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Toyotas. What's happening with the Toyotas? So the Blitz is.
Wait, hang on. Did you go racing this weekend?
No, sadly, I had to bail on the weekend.
Oh, you were going to be a toge driver, and I was very excited for you.
I know. I was going to take my fresh BMW and race it on a track, and I got it all done. I got the car registered, passed inspection, etc., and then I didn't go racing.
How do you think you'll be received by the BMW? How do you think you'll be received by the BMW community?
I think I'll be received in a way that I care very little about.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like, I'm not sure how I'll be received, and I don't really care. Because, I don't know, for me, it's kind of like road race guys. I mean, they're not even road race guys. They're just like BMW nerds. I don't know. There's probably some professional drivers. There's probably some really good drivers. There's probably some dweebs. There's probably some fucking fanboys. There's just all sorts of shit, right? And I'm going to be somewhere in the middle there, but like, I'm going to have this weird ass fucking car that's like probably kind of cool, but like be like a, moderately decent driver or maybe mid pack or whatever. And then, I don't know, that's essentially what it is. It'll either be, I feel like they'll be confused because they're like, oh, like, here's this weird car. It's kind of cool. And then, I don't know. With the stock car, I think it'll just be like, whatever, who cares? But like, I think if I were to show up with like my version of what my track car would be, they would definitely be like, what the fuck? And like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. I think you should put BMW emblems on the Blit and just go drive the Blit.
That would have been hilarious.
Hi, everybody. Shit, it's got a 1J? No way. Okay.
So the engine that's in the 130 is a 3-liter straight 6, inline 6, 3-liter, whatever. So it's the same sort of architecture as like a 2J, right? Like imagine like an IS300.
Yeah, I can imagine one of those.
Yeah, so it's basically
very vividly
similar to that, except it makes quite a bit more jam than an IS300.
But it's not. But it's not. But it's not your bread and butter.
It's not my bread and butter, but I like to do new things. So.
I like to get. You'd like to get some butter alternatives. It sounds like.
Unless you get the can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, or it's just like, yeah, whatever. Base cell maybe, plant based.
No, country crock. Remember, you gotta get that country crock.
Yeah, I know country. I'm country crock right now. All right, good. That's great for you. You were going to tell me about a Toyota, and then I made you talk about BMWs again. So if we talk about Toyotas, Kevin will get involved, which is very exciting.
The Blit is coming back from the dyno.
How much power that puppy making?
I don't really know, man. Honestly, it's not much more than before because the dyno conditions are decently different. The last time we dynoed, it made 350 wheel horsepower, but it was also in September, so it was like significantly colder than the day he recently dynoed was, I think, our hottest day here at 30 degrees, which is, what the hell's that in like fucking hieroglyphics, 100 or some shit, 120? What is it? What is 30 degrees in?
Man, I don't know. I was fucking talking to you about Canadian Sesame Street. They didn't tell me that shit on there. I don't know that.
Exactly. I don't even know which one.
30 degrees is like 86 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Kevin. He knows.
No.
Yeah,
moderate.
I'll look that shit. Anyways, whatever. It was hot. I did pick up some good low to mid-range torque apparently, and the turbo spool's quicker. So that's kind of really all I care about. 350 wheel is great, but I'd rather have all the torque all the time before that peak. So whatever. Anyways, but the best part about that is now that it's dialed, I can do the rest of the fun stuff, which is change the wheels, lower it, add more camber, and basically just make it more useless now that it has more power. So I have 9 degrees of camber, bigger wheels, more camber, and it's going to look different for Weekfest. So if you're listening to this if you hear this before we are at Weekfest, I hate saying Weekfest, by the way. I think Weckfest is cool, so I don't know what the fuck it's actually called.
That's not Weekfest. The name of it, Gerald. Like,
Is it Weekfest?
Yes, it's Weekfest. We've been corrected. It's Weekfest.
Okay, so whatever. Weekfest, we're going. We're having a booth. We have merch. We have shift knobs. We have stuff to sell, so come see us at Weekfest. Also, if you guys are into the green shift knobs, the SK3s that are extremely limited and you can only ever buy them in some weird-ass way, come to Weekfest because we have 20 SK3 greens that we are selling. So they're going to be like laser etched. It says like Weekfest 23, and we're selling 20 of those, 10 short, 10 tall. And
that's pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
This is the first I've heard of it, and I'm like, yo, that's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's cool, right? And also, we're debuting the new look for the Blit there. Kevin's car is going to be on the ground, so it'll actually look cool for the first time in 3 years. We have
it was on the ground last time.
Was it?
Yeah.
It has to be like underground.
Well, he was on the ground for last week fest. You weren't there.
Okay, so 1 year.
You would know.
You're right. I wasn't there.
That was the 2 Caballeros. Now it's all the Caballeros.
Yeah, so we'll have Ryan Aristo there. We'll have...
Yeah, nobody cares about that. Say something nice about my mind. Do it. Oh, okay.
Like an 18 crown.
Yeah.
What else? I don't know, but just come see us. Come see all of our
What do you mean, what else? You got an 18, you got an Altezza, you got a Blit,
like you said,
and an Aristo. Yeah, okay. Jake's not bringing his car?
No, yeah, and we got a J690. Jake's
yeah, you got a 90. There. Fucking, and it's got like VSKFs on it. Like that is the most accessibly cool car out of all of them. It's like all of the things.
all other things. We're going to have our shifter there. We're going to have our shift knobs there. You can grab any of the shift knobs, put it on the shifter, and shift it. It's going to be rad. We'll have our steering wheels there. We'll have our Arcadia. The whole Arcadia line is going to be there in full effect. You can come and touch the suede steering wheel and shift the shifter. It's going to be awesome. So come see us.
Touch the suede.
Yeah, just come touch my suede, bro.
I like when we use the podcast for good, and I feel like right now we're using it like for an actual purpose, which is
what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, not all the time, because still fun to talk about juddering and shit. But yeah, okay, that's very exciting. When is Weekfest?
June 11th.
June 11th.
Yeah, buddy.
Get my car cleaned up.
We also have
your calendar right now.
Shirts for sale, and we have new shirts that will only be available at Weekfest, or they'll firstly available at Weekfest.
What are they? Can I know, or is it a big old surprise?
He's wearing it right now, bud.
I think you've seen one.
Oh, that is. Oh, yeah. Didn't I?
There's one.
That's a nice. Yeah. Wait, didn't I help with one? Oh no, you're not that one.
Yeah, you helped with the other one. That one is another one. Yes.
Do you know why I helped? Because you asked me to help, and then I just helped because that's my disease.
Ryan Benoit Dodologic Collabo shirt.
Oh, that's fun. But it doesn't have my name or any affiliation to me on it. You'll just have to know that I helped. I'm fine with that. I don't care. I'm here to make sure you shine. That's my job. I don't always do it well, but I try my best. Hey, did you see the new Chronicles thing that they made?
Yeah, with Advent. Pretty sick.
Yeah. I might have to buy that. I mean, I've been drinking again, so yeah, he's got a fucking Advent collab. Well, I've been drinking, so like I've like drunk me is like, yo, I need that, and then like sober me, I'll see the price and be like, huh, maybe.
I mean, it's pretty fucking cool.
It is pretty fucking cool, but I'm not made of money. But I like it. He did put me in a video once, which was really nice of him. It was when I called. It was when I called Ilya the Hemsworth of drifting, and I thought that was pretty funny.
I feel like it'd be cool to see him at Weekfest again, because he definitely liked the Aristo last time, so I'm hoping he likes the Blitz this time.
Oh yeah,
or Kevin's car, because Kevin's car basically took the place of my Aristo in the fact that it was like the drift car that now is the show car.
Yeah, nobody really cared about our cars last year. I don't know.
Oh,
Kevin, how do you feel?
I mean, we were in the
that corner. We know of.
I mean, I thought we were in a good spot, but then we were. Yeah. I mean, we were in the corner, though.
Yeah, we were in a corner. We didn't have any like flags up. We should have put the flags up.
Yeah, should have, would have, could have.
Yeah, I don't know.
We didn't know how to car show, so
Yeah, the car show pro did not go. So
did not go.
Yeah, I know what I did there. Don't worry about it. You got words like judder, and I make rhymes sometimes. Yeah, I think this year we'll really be on it, because Jerry will be there. Fucking Jerry the Giraffe. I'll be lighting it up. What I'm doing is calling back older jokes that I made in this episode. So that's what we in the biz call a callback. Yeah, and I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to car show with Gerard because Kevin and I don't car show all that well. I feel like I don't know. Is that fair to say, Kevin? Do you think we car show well?
I mean, I had fun.
Yeah, no, I had lots of fun. Yeah, but like,
that's not what it's about.
Is that what it's about? Yeah, as long as you have
I don't
fun.
know. Like, apparently, you're supposed to fill out the thing. Apparently.
Oh yeah, no, we did not do that.
That's what
we
I mean.
did not fill out the form.
I don't really know what I'm doing, so.
Yeah, Jerry will tell us. Gerard will tell us. It'll be great. Okay. Well, this is great. I feel like we had a real productive time talking. I
do have to ask you something, Ryan, because you are a dad.
Okay.
We are trying to make some kids merch, but our advisor lady sort of advised us to maybe make like kind of like quirky, stupid, like not really, but like like my dad drifts this, or that's a stupid example, but Kevin, help me out here. Get off your fucking phone.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I know exactly what you're saying, but yeah, exactly. Some stupid shit like that. It's just like for like Father's Day or something.
My dad knows what.
Yeah, my dad my dad drifts a JZX or something, or like
I know, or like I know what a JZX.
That's just kind of funny. Like but like obviously the dad's gonna buy it for the kid and be like, "Yo, this is sick."
Well, hang on. Are you gonna buy that for your kid? So I make a shirt. Dodo Logic.
No, never.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Exactly. Hang on. And it says.
Okay.
And it says, I know what a JZX 100 is because of my dad. Because dad. You gonna buy that?
No, I just removed that because dad part.
I know what a JZX 100 is. Okay. So now are you gonna put that on a shirt for your kid? Like Dominic, you're not sending.
I would just make a cool shirt and like just not have that dad shit on it, and just make it for kids. Make the adult shirts, but for kids.
Like here's
or
the
maybe
thing.
Make like
I never ever listen to my business advice, and that's fine. Yeah. You exist in a culture that I feel like you fully understand and grasp. You've accumulated a following. You've built a business about a culture that you understand. People buy your parts for a reason. So I think when it comes to taste, maybe an outsider giving advice isn't always the best, like literally.
I mean, like
I think what it is our like business advisor, if you will.
Yes.
Like,
and then what I
see what really meant, like
what I think also, Ryan, is just like maybe this is us being like, oh, we're too cool to do this sort, and like it's not SerialNine, and it's like, all right, well, you're just missing out on you're leaving a bunch of money on the table, and it like I feels that like Ryan, like I love it, but it feels like you have this vision of SerialNine in your head that's like so elitist.
Bravado is the word.
And no, because that's for BMW shit.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it feels like it'd be sick to like. It'd be sick to make money.
More
Be able to like, hey, let's go to Japan.
No.
You know what I mean? If I sold some pedestrian ass shirts to a bunch of losers and like it allowed me to like go to Japan and not pay for anything and SerialNine just pays for everything, I'm 100% okay with that, man. Like I'm
also like that shit would be cool. Like you could sell bibs that say like I don't know what it would say, but like you could sell all sorts of stupid kid shit, and it would just be
honestly, man. Talk to Cody. I was talking to Cody today at work, and he had like some awesome ideas. He's like, "You guys should make swim trunks." I'm like, "I kind of have swim trunks, those like sedan drifting club ones."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, you should sell swim trunks." And then we started talking about skateboards. He's like, "Yo, you should make skateboard decks." I'm like, "Yeah, we talked about tattoo."
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? And he's just
those designs that we're getting from Daryl should be skateboard decks. 100%.
Yes, those are the very skateboard deck.
Shit out of those.
All that stuff is fucking rad. And Kevin, you're not wrong. I do have a vision, but it does boil down to like
no mercy for peasants. I get it.
No, it's not no mercy for peasants. It's me saying like a long time, a few years ago to Gerard being like, oh, we could do like this style or that style or like blah, blah, blah. And he said, no, I want to do SerialNine style, and which is just dope. Like I want to make the dopest thing, like something that you think that is dope. And I totally get what you're saying. And I'm not asking you to listen to my advice. If you want to make a thing that says that, whatever, you do what you think is best, obviously. My concern in those things is like sullying the brand to a point where it's like, oh, it's not, like it's not.
I don't think making a kids line would sully the brand whatsoever. It would.
Okay, and that's fine. If that's, as long as you're both okay, because that's the thing. It's like, to me, it's not about like, oh, it's an elitist thing. It's just like, it's SerialNine is very much both of you doing a thing, and like I said, I always really appreciated it was no, I don't need it to be like mid 2000s. Like, I just want to make dope shit that's SerialNine. I want it to be the best like SerialNine thing that it can be. And it's like, oh yeah, like you don't need to like ride a trend. You can set your own trend and build your own trend. Because like, just as likely, if you put a SerialNine, like for me, if you put, and I'm not obviously the best market for this, but like if you had Gerard's shirt that he's wearing right now, or if you had it in pink, like a pink shirt with black, I would buy that for June, and I'd be like, you wear this now. So this is one of the shirts in your rotation, whereas
that is what we're doing. We're just I'm just saying we're making a kids line, but like
no, I'm down with the kids line. I was and again, I don't do whatever is going to work for you. It was the like, I know what a JZX is. It's like I wouldn't buy that for June, but maybe another parent would, and that's fine. I don't actually know.
Well, yeah. What if it was like my dad drives an Aristo?
No, never. No, I'd rather be like, I'm a different thing, right? Like I mean, I'm probably not the person to talk to about that. Like, yeah, if I would never buy a shirt. Like when they make those shirts that have like the outline of like a person's car on it. You know what I'm talking about? Like you can buy the hoodie.
Yeah, Jimmy.
I would like that shit.
Yeah, and I fucking can't stand that shit.
I mean, I don't love that shit. I don't have any of it.
Yeah, but
you're
like I will
drawing or something.
Yeah, but I don't really like to buy shirts that have cars on it. One of my favorite SerialNine things is the SerialNine hoodie that you guys gave me a long time ago. Like that's one of my favorite things.
The like old English on it.
Yeah, I think so. That's just that I put on weight and it doesn't fit as well. And I think Jody put it in the dryer. But like, love that. Like, but that's me. Like I'm a very specific person where it's like I don't want to advertise the car that I have, but like if I wear a SerialNine shirt or a hoodie, if you know what it is when I'm wearing it, then like we can skip the fucking small talk and get straight to the good stuff, But that said, I did see a guy at Disneyland wearing a JZX 100 shirt, and I almost walked up to him, but like I was just gonna be like, "Yo," I was gonna use that as a jumping off point to start talking to him about SerialNine. Like, hell, yo, 100s are dope. Got any SerialNine parts? Like I was just gonna get right into it. I wasn't gonna be like, oh, tell me about, It's like, okay, let's see where you're actually at. It's like that's a barometer to measure a little bit, but then I'm gonna start peppering you with questions, and then we'll see where it falls. Anyway, but that's me. I mean, like, ask Gordon. He's got 2 kids, and he might be like the better model for that. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just, the like, my dad drives this, or I know what this is. Maybe it's okay, but I don't know. I'd rather just have my kid wear like, it's like I'd rather buy June. Like June has a Vans t-shirt that she'll wear, which is great for me. But it just has like a fucking unicorn on it, and she wears it because it has a unicorn on it. But it doesn't say like, I know what a skateboard is, or like I know what off the wall is.
But
anyway,
that's like stupid because like that's not the same thing as knowing what a JDEX is. That's like saying like
no,
I can do a kickflip
but
or some shit. You know what I mean?
but it's like, or I know what a kickflip is, but it kind of is, or like I know what off the wall means, or I know, like same thing. It's like June can now tell you what a Star Wars, like different Star Wars ships, but I would never buy her a shirt that says like I know what an X-wing is. It was like I'd buy her a shirt that has an X-wing on it, or anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but
yeah, it's like it's more show me what you know instead of like tell me. Show me, don't tell me. Anyway, that's me. That said, you guys are your own thing, and you should always do what you think is best.
Mm-hmm.
Good chat. I don't know if that can go on the podcast, but that's a great conversation.
Well, no, I mean it's a good car. It's if we made kids product, would you buy them? That should be in the fucking podcast.
Yeah. Okay. And if I'm
how
wrong,
many of you
I
have
would,
children, and how many of you would buy SerialNine merch for your children?
If someone has a thought and wants to weigh in and wants a shirt that says, I know what a 100 is, or I know what a chaser is, or I know what a cresta is.
Yo, I don't know what a cresta is.
Cresta, yeah, that's a fucking trick question is what that one is. It's to weed out the liars. I was gonna say one of the comments that I got on one of the last podcasts was, why did you send me this Narita dogfight thing?
I thought that's what you're talking about, and that's what I was asking you.
No, Chronicles. I have that.
Chronicles.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joey.
Sorry. Go Joey.
You love Narita dogfight.
Who, me?
This is straight bullshit. No, Kevin.
Does he?
I'm just kidding. Narita dogfight is kind of cool. I'm just like,
I don't even know like how to find fucking Chronicles. Like I don't even like Chronicles.
Yeah, that's a fucking tricky one. Okay.
It's the stupidest fucking thing.
Yeah, it is. It's
Diljo.
Okay,
Sticky Diljo.
So what is it? Yeah.
The fucking collaboration of a capsule, like basically a line of items collaborated with Advent.
Yeah, the hoodie's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's all fucking kind of sick.
Yeah, he
like did tons of research and did, like looked at their old logos and looked at their new logos and look at, you know what I mean? Like he's like the guy to do that. So like, he's so into that culture that like it's gonna turn out well.
One of the coolest things he did is when he made the made the old video game, like the Chronicles video game cartridge.
Yeah.
That's fucking it was fucking great.
Yeah, it was so dope.
Super Nintendo cartridge, yeah.
Yeah, I think all that shit's dope, but it's also expensive, and I don't really like it that much, so I never bought any of it. But honestly, he gave me so many shirts. Like when we gave him some fucking stock front uppers for his car, and he gave me like fucking 6 shirts, and they're dope. The long sleeves are like super rad. I wear them all the time, and the hoodies I wear all the time. Like they're really cool.
Right.
So.
Now this has turned into an ad for Chronicles, which is fine. I'm okay with that. What was that? Oh, Kevin, we did get a message about one of the podcasts, and our buddy said he was laughing out loud. I'll read it to you. I took a screenshot because it was pretty funny. They said, can we make a petition to have Kevin refrain from telling his public fingering stories on the podcast? Gerard, you were all about it. Kevin's talking about how this lady almost hits him when he's on his motorbike, and he's like, so I start fingering her through the window. And you and I are like, bah! We are children. And then Kevin continues to tell the story, but never acknowledges that
the joke
fingering means different things.
Finger bang bang you into the night.
Yeah. Anyway, what a great time we've had today. I really appreciate this. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks everyone who's for listening to the podcast and sending us questions. As always, we really appreciate it. Like we said, we'll be at WeekFest. Kevin will be at some more drift events this summer, and we are all going to Penticton on Canada Day for Cap DUI. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So we will be out and about. If you haven't already, go check out our final bout video. I feel like it's a lot of fun. Let us know what you think.
It definitely is a lot of fun.
Because we put a lot of time and effort into those, and if I shouldn't be making videos, I need you to let me know, internet. Yeah, and yeah. Well, with that, thanks again for listening. I appreciate you, everyone.
Yes, thank you for listening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Serial Podcast 9.